Hello, my friends, and welcome to this completely new thing that I've never tried before, and this is like my fourth take, so bear with me if I fuck up a lot. First things first, for those who don't know much about me, hello, I'm Feretta, and I'm the creator and artist behind the long-running, still no awards-winning comic Tale of Tales, as well as the currently on hiatus Space Vixen. I'm a graphic designer in my day-to-day life, working for the public sector, doing equal parts graphic design work and tech and system developments, as well as a lot of other things. I wanted to have a little chat with you guys about some things and the future of both Tale of Tales and my artwork and all of that kind of stuff. But I need to preface this with a little bit of information. You see, my day job, which is 7.5 hours a day, and my quote-unquote art job, which is me doing 3 hours of art streaming every single day, means that time becomes an ever more precious commodity for me, and as a result of exhaustion and feeling like I'm spinning my wheels, I've decided to make some really big changes in my life. Which is why I handed in my resignation from work on Monday morning this week. You see, for a long time now, I've had a plan to move out of the city and buy myself a cheap house somewhere remote where I can focus entirely on doing art for a living, and, 2020, the year of hindsight, will be the time in which I finally achieve a dream that I've been working towards for 20 fucking years. Now, what that means for you guys, as my audience, is threefold. First of all, it means that I'll start taking commissions on a regular basis. I'm probably aiming for a minimum of 10 per month in order to cover my costs. I'll likely also open additional slots later on to push my savings and stuff, whatever. We'll see how things go in general and what the demand is. I hope the demand is going to be as high as it seems, but yes, we'll see. I'm probably going to have to bump my prices slightly compared to what I have now, and if you don't know what my prices are, that's completely understandable because I haven't been taking any commissions. But anyway, in either case, I promise to keep it affordable as much as I can, but I do have to cover my costs. Second, it means that I'll be relying more on my Patreon than I've done before. And if you didn't know I have a Patreon, that's also completely understandable because I have not pushed that at all. Currently, it's set up to be just a kind of a tip jar for people who just really, really wanted to support me. And I'll be making more of an effort to market it, plus obviously reworking it and changing things up on it. And since I'm changing things, I would love to hear from you guys what you'd like to see on a Patreon. Like, what would make you want to support me on Patreon? Currently, I use it to post high-resolution images of various projects, such as Tale of Tales and Space Vixen, when that wasn't on hiatus, which it is right now, as well as any still images I happen to remember to make in larger scale, which I often forget because I just work in 1440p, and then I forget to scale it up before I finish the actual piece. And you can't really scale it after you draw it either, so it's... Anyway, it doesn't matter. Third thing, it means an increase in productivity for Tale of Tales, as well as the return of Space Vixen, which I still need to set up on my own website so I can attach some ad space to it. Not to worry though, it's nothing aggressive. I hate ads as much as you guys do. It'll probably just be bars and not much else than that. I'm trying to find an ad network that I can use with Tale of Tales, but that's a little more complicated because it has porn in it. So not really a whole lot of options there. beyond like just raw fucking porn site ads, which I really don't want to do because Jesus Christ, that's a lot of fucking dick to have in your face on a site with a comic. But in general, for Space Vixen, I want to set up like at least, you know, a little bit. Nothing too elaborate. So what am I gonna do with all of this extra time that I'm gonna have, right? Well, since we just had a thing pop up, I can talk about this drawing that I'm making right now, which I'd like to make a bunch more of. Stuff like this, for instance. So the drawing that you're seeing right now is a project that I started working on, and you're seeing a little bit of flash here of a kind of a similar thing. I started working on the other thing that you just saw flashes of. And during making thumbnails for that piece, I also drew this sketch, which I decided, you know what, this deserves to be its own piece. And then halfway through inking it, I suddenly decided to just make it a massive fucking experiment, because you might have noticed that there's a lot of shading on this that I've never done before. And that there are daredevils up on the screen. Those are kind of style guides for the shading. I didn't follow them at all. They were just there to kind of inspire me and maybe help me figure out specific things. They didn't help at all. Just learning how to do black with black as shading is a little more involved than just looking at Daredevil. But yeah, I'd love to do more stuff like this because it's very striking and it's a really, really different style to what I usually do. The other piece is also an experiment, and that's why I haven't finished it yet. This one was a lot easier to work on and finish. The other one is way more elaborate, so I don't know if I'm gonna actually finish that before I move and switch over. But yeah, like in general, there's a lot of things I want to do with that extra time that I'm gonna free up. Aside from, you know, putting more time into Tale of Tales and Space Vixen and commissions and new pieces, I wanna put more time into learning animation. I already know how to animate. I never have time to actually practice it and get good at it. But if you've seen any of my animation work, then you know, yeah, I'm decent. I'm not terrible. I'm passable. It's a good way to phrase it. I also just want to work more on 3D modeling, you know, maybe get into 3D animation. You know, I could maybe convert Space Vixen into a full 3D animation project. That would be fucking awesome, right? I want to practice voice acting. I want to practice singing. I want to learn to play piano and guitar and violin. I have a piano, I have 2 electric guitars, and I have a violin, and I don't know how to do any of them. I don't know. I'm okay with the piano. I can play one song on piano, sort of, but I just don't have time to practice it. But yeah, I just want to use my creative juices for something everyone can enjoy instead of wasting it on bureaucrats and politicians. So yeah. 2020, here we fucking go, right? This will be my year, and I hope you guys will, if not support me directly, then, you know, be around, enjoy it, and reap the benefits regardless. Regardless of that, here is our finished Space Vixen piece. I say Space Vixen, it's not directly related, it's kind of a side piece, but earlier stories. Anyway, it turned out pretty good, and I really like the results. It's a cool style. I want to do more of it. We'll see what happens. But yeah, that's about it. Here's where you can find me primarily and my Patreon. And until next time, good night.